Class is in session. MLB hitting the book show Monday, July 21st. Ian Cameron with you. Connor Mack running a little bit late, just running some errands. He'll be back very soon, and he'll join us later on in the show. But we got a big Monday slate as usual, and we will be breaking it down right here on the MLB hitting the book show. So without further ado, let's get into it. It's been 3 days of MLB action following the All-Star break, 3 profitable days for yours truly. So it's a reminder, if you want every single bet, including unit designations for everything that I wager every day, make sure you check out the subscription offerings. We've got Dub Club, which is every bet that I place in every sport. And then we have the smaller scale subscription offerings. Odds Shoppers, kind of like a medium-sized card every day in all sports. And then we got the low volume card, just a select few bets every day, which is at SoBet, which is the one that's $15 a month. The other 2 options are a little bit higher in price per month because you get more bets per day. But that's where you can find all that. And it has been a very, very good 3 days in MLB since the All-Star break concluded. So hopefully more of the same tonight. We'll try to keep it rolling here on this Monday. Let's begin with the San Diego Padres taking on the Miami Marlins. We've got Randy Vasquez and Yuri Perez here on the mound in this game. We've got Miami minus 140 home favorites here in this game. The total at 8 across the board. And Yuri Perez is a pitcher that when he first got to the big leagues here with this Marlins team, he showed promise. He really did. Really good stuff. Can mix things up. And he is starting to look like the Yuri Perez he did when he first broke into the big leagues a few years ago. He has been really good in his last 3 starts. He's given up just 1 run in his last 3 outings over a span of 18 innings pitched. Now, he faced Minnesota, Cincinnati, and Baltimore in those games. So we'll see if he can keep it going here. The one thing we know about the San Diego Padres is, well, I guess over the weekend against Washington, they showed they could hit on the road, but the road record is below 500, and they haven't always consistently been able to hit on the road. But they're facing a pitcher in very good form right now, and Yuri Perez. Randy Vasquez will be on the mound here for the Padres. 4-0 the Padres in his last 4 starts, and hasn't been as dominant as Perez, but he's been solid enough to give his team a chance to win in these games. It's a really tough game from a side perspective. I just don't feel like I want to lay minus 140 with Miami in this situation. Even though I like Perez, I don't really want to go against him with the way the current form is. Maybe this game stays under. I certainly lean in that direction. Maybe first 5 under and or full game under between these 2 teams. Could be a little bit more of a pitcher's duel. We'll have to wait and see on that. But like I said, I like the way Perez is dealing right now. But I'm not at this price. I mean, we're still talking about the Miami Marlins minus 140. And at that price, I'm just not interested. All right, Baltimore, Cleveland. We've got Tomoyoki Sugano on the mound here for the Baltimore Orioles and Tanner Bybee for the Cleveland Guardians. Cleveland minus 140, home favorites, 8.5 the total here in this game. I'm on the Guardians here. I like how this sets up. They've really played good baseball going back to the last couple series they had before the All-Star break. You remember they went into Houston. They swept the Astros. That really got them going again, turn and helped turn things around. They finished the pre-All-Star break schedule very strong. And then, of course, they come out of the All-Star break and they win 2 or 3 over the weekend from the Athletics. So I like the way they're swinging the bats right now, Cleveland. We talked about during the struggles, the offense just was dormant for them. That's not the case anymore. This Cleveland team has been raking here the last 10 games during this 8-2 run that they've put together. Like I said, they swept the Astros. They took 3 or 4 in Chicago before the break, and then they won 2 or 3 against the Athletics. It's not like Baltimore's very good. There's another team that Cleveland should be able to handle. Baltimore was playing, starting to win a couple of games, but they lost 2 or 3 at home against Miami before the break, and then, of course, they lose 2 or 3 over the weekend against the Tampa Bay Rays. Really difficult spot, too, because Baltimore had their game against Tampa down at Steinbrenner Field yesterday, delayed by rain, and that game didn't wrap up till after 5 p.m. Eastern time, so it was delayed. They were late getting out of there, and now they got to travel to Cleveland here with that game ending later than expected yesterday, that game with the Orioles and the Rays yesterday. So a bit of a tough scheduling spot, too. I'm not a big fan of what I've seen out of Sugano. He's given up 16 runs in his last 17 innings. It's not what you want to see. Crazy thing is the Orioles are 4-1 in Sugano's last 5 starts. You'd think he'd be pitching well with a record like that, but he has an 8.25 ERA during that time. It's just they've given him run support, in a majority of these starts, scoring 5, 6, 7 runs. I don't think they're going to do that here. Bybee, I think, can pitch pretty well here in Cleveland. His home ERA is pretty decent on the season, so Cleveland just swinging a hot bat. I'm going to go Cleveland here, -135. I'm also going to split it up with the team total for Cleveland, which is 4.5 at a plus price. I think they can get 5 runs. Scored 8 in 2 of the games against the A's. Before the All-Star break, they scored 6 in 2 of the 4 games against the White Sox. They scored 7 and 10 runs in 2 of their wins against Houston. So they really are in good form at the moment. So I like Cleveland here, and I'm going to split it. Guardians money line, Guardians team total, which is over 4.5. All right, Detroit-Pittsburgh. We've got Jack Flaherty, Paul Skeens, the pitching matchup. Pittsburgh minus. This is getting insane with the Paul Skeens tax. Really? I mean, Pittsburgh can't get out of their own way right now. They just got buried over the weekend at home by the Chicago White Sox. And they're -130 as home favorites here against the team that's got the best record in the American League. Make that make sense. -130, the total 7 here in this game. I haven't bet this yet because, I will say this about Detroit. They haven't been playing their best ball. They've hit their first extended slump of the season, which they snapped a 6-game losing streak with beating Texas. And I don't love the spot of Sunday Night Baseball and travel. That's a fade spot. And that's the only thing that's keeping me off Detroit. I don't love that spot. It's been a negative spot. Sunday Night Baseball with travel. That's the only thing that worries me here about taking Detroit. And we know Skeens is very good, but like I said, with Skeens, they have a losing record in his last 5 starts because they just don't hit. They don't give him run support. He's pitched pretty well most of these starts, but then they don't hit, and then the bullpen becomes an issue for the Pirates, and that's the issue right now for them. So that's a pass for me. Could only endorse Detroit at this price. Only endorse Detroit, but I just don't want to back them coming off travel and Sunday Night Baseball. That is a spot that typically I do not like betting, and that's why I'm going to stay off this game. All right, Cincinnati and Washington. We've got Brady Singer and Joel Irvin here on the mound here for the Jake Irvin, I should say, for the Nats. Cincinnati -125, road favorites, 9 the total here in this game. Reds in the over. I'm interested in a little bit of both here in this game. Cincinnati bats here against the Mets over the weekend. They scored 13 in the first 2 games. They were shut down yesterday in the 3-2 loss in the finale. They had David Peterson, though, on the ropes in the first 2 innings. They just couldn't get that big hit, to really come through with a big number on the board. But they really did have Peterson, on skates there in the first 2 innings. And, if not for Peterson being able to get his way out of trouble, it could have been a different outcome yesterday for Cincinnati. So I like the way they've played here coming out of this All-Star break. I think the price is very cheap, only laying, -120 or so on the Cincinnati Reds here, -115 in some spots. Singer on the mound here, it's kind of a tough luck situation for Singer. He's 1-4, or the Reds are 1-4 in his last 5 starts, but he's pitched pretty well. He's given up 2 runs or fewer in 3 of those 5 outings, and he's given his team a chance to win each time out. So see if he can pitch well. Not really a big fan of Irvin for the Nats. Last 2 outings, he's given up 7 runs, 10 hits in 11 innings. I think the price is pretty cheap, all things considered, here on Cincinnati, -115. Lean over the total as well. I think we could see some runs here in this game. Nats are 7-2-1 to the over in their last 10 games. So I like Reds. I like the Reds more than the over, but I have a smaller bet on the over here in this game as well. All right, next up, as we continue along here on this Monday slate, we will go to, let me see here. There we go. Oh, one of the big ones taking place tonight, probably the biggest series. The New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays battle for first in the AL East. Carlos Rodon and Kevin Gausman, the pitching matchup. Got the Yankees -120 road favorites, 8.5 the total here in this game. What can you say about the Jays? They picked up right where they left off after the break. Before the break, they picked up after the break right where they left off, sweeping San Francisco over the weekend. Just very impressive stuff from the lineup. The pitching was solid. Key outs from the bullpen, especially in the latter two games of this series. We remember what happened the last time the Yankees made the trip to Toronto to face the Blue Jays. They got swept in 4 straight. Now, there is an element from a situational standpoint where, the Yankees got their tails kicked in. They got absolutely crushed here the last time they were in Toronto. So they're going to be coming out with, fire in their nostrils, whatever you want to call it, to make amends for getting swept in 4 straight games in that series in Toronto earlier this month. But this Jays team's on a roll. They've won 10 in a row at home. They're going for going to tie a franchise record, 11 straight games that they've won at home at Rogers Center. They've become one of the best home teams in baseball too. 35-16 for the Toronto Blue Jays here at the Rogers Center. Rodon on the mound here for the Yankees, and obviously he's pitched pretty well for the most part, but he did labor with the Blue Jays back in the previous series, and the Jays won against the Yankees with Rodon on the mound 5-4 in that game. We know the Jays hit lefties well, so I'm not totally convinced we get a shutdown performance here from Rodon. Gausman's been pretty good, I would say, for the most part. He certainly pitched well against the Yankees in that series in early July, held them to 2 runs in 5 innings. Jays won that game as well. I mean, they've won 10 in a row at home, and they're plus money. So just that alone is reason for me to be on Toronto here, plus 106, plus 105 in this game. I know the Yankees are going to be chomping at the bit because let's be honest, they got embarrassed in Toronto about a month ago. But like I said, the value is Toronto. It's certainly, to me at least, not with the Yankees. I think this game could go over the total as well, 8.5. All 4 games, Yankees and Blue Jays at Rogers Center in that early July series, they all went over the total. And I think I was on the over most of those games in that series. 5-4, 12-5, 11-9, 8-5. And don't forget how thin and how stretched the New York Yankees bullpen has been in recent games as well. Not to mention the Blue Jays bullpen. They had to go to some other arms and relievers to get those outs for them against San Francisco on Sunday. So both bullpens have had to log a lot of innings lately. We haven't seen consistent, length from the starters for either of these two teams. So bullpens maybe are vulnerable to giving up some runs late in the game. So Blue Jays and over for me here. Blue Jays plus 100, over 8.5 is the way I'm looking here in this one. Should be a good game. Should be a great series. A pivotal one with the Jays. Obviously 3 games up on the Yankees for first in the AL East. All right, we continue along. Next up, Angels and Mets. We've got Tyler Anderson and Kodai Senga, the pitching matchup in this one. Mets minus 180, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. This might be a little bit of a dicey bet because Senga's numbers have been outstanding, no question. But this Mets team, they barely survived getting out of Cincinnati over the weekend at home with a win, 3-2 yesterday. Now, I know Senga, 1.4 ERA. He's been very good, but he doesn't give you length. He only goes 4, 5, 6 innings on average. You get some of the Mets bullpen in there. Not excited about it. I'm not the biggest of fans of Tyler Anderson, but, with this Angels team, they going back to the All-Star, before the All-Star break, we're really starting to play some better baseball, competitive baseball. They've been feisty. They've been in games. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. They took 2 of 3 over the weekend in Philadelphia against the Phillies, and the Phillies have played good baseball at home all season long. I just feel like you're paying a Kodai Senga premium here at minus 180. I like the way the Angels are playing. I took a small bite on the Angels here at plus 150 just because of the price, and I just feel the Angels have been very competitive. They took 2 of 3 against the Phillies, and now they're playing the other team battling for first, obviously, in the NL East. So I just think the price is a little too tall here on the New York Mets, and small bet for me here, LA Angels plus 150 in this one. All right, on we roll. San Francisco versus Atlanta. We've got Hayden Birdsong, Bryce Elder on the pitching matchup here. Atlanta minus 135. Home favorites, the total 9.5 in this game. I think it's a really nice spot here for San Francisco. They got a Braves team that's obviously struggling, hasn't had the season anyone expected. Bullpen struggled. The pitching's been bad. The offense has been up and down. And San Francisco just comes off a sweep over the weekend against Toronto. But what can you say? Blue Jays are one of the best teams in baseball. The record indicates that over the last month or so. So, you can't penalize the Giants too much for losing those 3 games in Toronto against the Blue Jays over the weekend. I think it's a nice little spot for them to bounce back here. Atlanta being favored. I took the Yankees yesterday at plus 116 against the Braves simply because it's the Braves favored. Are you shitting me? How the hell can we be taking Atlanta here as a favorite against the Yankees? And I know the Yankees are a flawed team. They've been up and down, but I was surprised we were able to get a nice price with the Yankees yesterday, and Stroman delivered a nice outing for them. And Bryce Elder, I've talked about Bryce Elder a lot. He's not a pitcher I'm overly excited about. He's given up 4 runs or more in 4 of his last 5 starts. 9.67 ERA for Elder in the last 5 starts as well. Not exactly someone I'm looking to be backing right now. Birdsong went through his share of struggles as well. Let's not act like Birdsong's been excellent either. Certainly hasn't been the next coming of Tim Lincecum for this team, but nevertheless, he was better in his last outing against the Athletics. 1 run, 3 hits, 5 innings. And if you look at his numbers, he's really had trouble in San Francisco. He's had some iffy road starts too, but he's actually been worse at home. He faces an Atlanta team where he's pitched pretty well, and the Giants are actually 2-0 in the previous times that Birdsong has started against the Braves. So I like the value here. Plus 115 with San Francisco, wanting to wipe the taste out of their mouth from that sweep in Toronto. Bounce back situation, beatable team in Atlanta who just haven't had a very good season. I think the Giants get it done. I like the over a little bit too, 9.5. I think there could be some runs in this game, but definitely on the Giants here at a nice plus 115 here in this one to bounce back after a tough weekend in Toronto. All right, we continue along. White Sox taking on the Rays. We've got Burke and Shane Baz. Burke and Shane Baz, the pitching matchup here. Tampa Bay minus 220 home favorites total. Sitting at 9, shaded to the under here in this game. We've talked about Burke a lot, and Burke's been one of these pitchers that has been able to keep the White Sox in games. Give them a chance, allow them to compete, but that doesn't mean they've consistently been able to win these games. They're still just 1-4, the White Sox, in Burke's last 5 starts. Shane Baz I like quite a bit. He's kind of been a tough luck pitcher lately for the Rays. He's pitched well enough the last 3 starts. The Rays lost all 3 games, but he pitched well. 3 runs in 7 innings against the A's, 3 runs in 6 innings against Detroit, 1 run in 6.1 very good innings in Boston, but they lost that game 1-0. They just haven't been able to give him, a ton of run support. So, but I like Baz. He's someone that I've looked to bet on in spots, but I just don't want to bet on him here at minus 220. I'm not interested in Tampa Bay at this price at all. And look, Chicago. Here's the thing, though, with Chicago. That Pittsburgh team is pretty bad right now. And, sweeping them is very solid. Credit to the White Sox. You beat on a downtrodden bunch in the Pittsburgh Pirates and outscored them, 27-7 in that series? I mean, it was a mauling for the White Sox over the Rays. Well, the competition stiffens up a little bit here. And I know Tampa Bay hasn't been flying here the last 10 games, but they did come out of the break winning 2 of 3 against Baltimore, after having a really nasty slump going into the All-Star break. Let's see the White Sox step up, beat a good team. Pittsburgh's one thing, Tampa Bay is a completely other thing. So it's a pass for me, side or total. Didn't get involved here in this game. All right, we move on now to the next game on the slate. It is Athletics and the Texas Rangers. Jacob Lopez, Jack Leiter, your pitching matchup here in this one in the AL West. We've got Texas minus 120. Home favorites, and the total here sitting at 8. The total 8 shaded to the over. This is a conundrum game for me. I mean, the price is very cheap on a Texas Rangers team that's trying to make a push here for a wild card spot and still maybe try to at least try to get back into the AL West race and track down Houston. But and they had a nice series over the weekend against Detroit. But Jack Leiter continues to be all over the place. No consistency whatsoever. Not exactly excited about the backing the Rangers with him on the mound. Jacob Lopez, we'll see how he fares here in this game for the Athletics, coming off loss yesterday in their finale against the Cleveland Guardians, see if he's able to turn things around here in this game. A lot of money on the A's, and I guess I get it because Jack Leiter has not been very reliable, not been very consistent for them. But boy, it just feels now with where this price is, minus 120 for Texas, that they're still a better team than the A's, and they've still played pretty good baseball here the last I would say week or two. The winning record 6-4. But again, the A's have been fighting. Another one of these teams, kind of like what I've said with the Angels, they've been feisty. They've not been a pushover. They've got bats in the lineup that can hurt a pitcher like Jack Leiter, who's kind of had some issues at times when you're talking about Rooker and you're talking about the outstanding rookie Kurtz and Jacob Wilson and all these guys that have been pretty solid as far as swinging the bat for the A's. So, like I said, I think it's a spot here where a tough one. I think the value now is with Texas minus 120, but I don't think I can do it with Leiter. So it's a stay away game for me. Just think if you like the A's, you missed the best of the price. It's moved quite a bit, obviously, since where it was at the opener. All right, Royals and Cubs. We've got Noah Cameron, no relation, and Ryan Brazier on the mound here in this matchup. Cubs minus 145, home favorites, 7.5 the total. Feels very cheap to back the Cubs at home, 32-17, and they're only $1.45 here in this game. There's a lot of respect being given to Noah Cameron, the lefty, and he has pitched pretty well. 2.93 ERA in his last 5 starts. Very impressive stuff, no question. But you look at it, this is just Cubs or nothing at this price. This is the Cubs team that's coming off losing the finale against Boston, 6-1. What are you going to get from Ryan Brazier? He's going to be the opener. It's going to be a bullpen day for the Chicago Cubs, but minus 145 with this team at home, actually against a team like the Kansas City Royals, kind of feels like pretty solid value when you look at it. So, like I said, Cubs are nothing for me here in this game. I didn't bet it. I'm not going to, but like I said, at minus 145, I would only look toward the Chicago Cubs here in this game. Like I said, didn't bet it, but it would be Cubs or pass for me. Yes, I did. Let's go circle back and go to that. I think we did miss that game. Hold on. Let me see. Yes, we did. Boston and Philadelphia, which is a really good series as well. We've got Walker Buehler for the Red Sox, and Zach Wheeler in the sky keeps on turning. Zach Wheeler for the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies minus 230, home favorites. Total here sitting at 7.5 across the board. This is going to be, for me, Phillies team total over 4.5. I think at 7.5, you could talk me into the over as well. I know Wheeler's been lights out. I know it. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Definitely in the mix for NL Cy Young. No debating that whatsoever. He's had an outstanding season for the Phillies. You look at his recent form, 1.32 ERA his last 5 starts. But some of these games, man, he's faced struggling Mets, Padres twice who've been up and down, Reds. Red Sox can hit. Red Sox have some thump in the lineup, especially if Bregman's going to be in there tonight. So I think Boston could score a few runs. I definitely think the Phillies could really tee off on Buehler. Buehler's not someone I'm trusting at all. 8.87 ERA last 5 starts. And look at his track record against Philadelphia. Now, this was a long time ago, but in his career against the Phillies, he's given up 16 runs and just about basically a run an inning given up by Walker Buehler against the Philadelphia Phillies. So that's not at all what you want to see. Phillies, I like the spot too. Phillies coming off, losing the last game of that series against the LA Angels 8-2 yesterday. Looking to bounce back with a good start here in this one. And to be honest with you, Boston, they didn't fare well. They got cooled off a little bit against the Cubs after the break. I think the Phillies could do some offensive damage here. So now that the total's fallen to 7.5 for the full game, I like the over, and I like the Phillies end of it specifically with the team total over 4.5. Minus 115 for the Phillies. I think there's definitely a possibility for the Phillies to get their bats going again here. They do match up pretty well here against Buehler. Guys like Schwarber, Harper, really, I think could match up well here against Walker Buehler in this game. There he is. We got my right-hand man here in the house, Connor Mack. C-Mac, hope you had a great. Hope things are good. What do you think here, Red Sox, Phillies?
Yeah, one thing, when I look at Bueller, I think he's pitched a little bit better, as the year has gone on. He was so fucking bad to start. But he struggles against lefties, especially the last few years. That's been his problem. So I think Schwarber, like you talked about, Harper finally getting going a little bit. He had a couple of homers the other day. I think you could look at him. I did. Not the best price for him, but I think they could get some runs. Yeah, this is interesting. I looked at this game, and I like the under, but now 7.5, like you talked about, has popped up for a couple bucks. I can't do it because I think the Phillies could get a few, maybe not a ton off Bueller. And the Red Sox better against lefties. We saw it yesterday. Suarez had a tough time. Red Sox, score a bunch of runs there. I forget what it was, 6th, 7th inning. Anyways,
it's all in that 1 inning off the Cubs bullpen.
Yeah,
yep.
Of that 1 inning, exactly. Yeah, but I wanted to get to. I don't think the Red Sox. I think Wheeler, after that rough start, I think he pitches better. So Red Sox team total under here kind of correlates with their team total over. Yep. So team total under. I think it's right around plus 115, 120. I got Red Sox team total under.
All right, next up as we continue along here on this Monday slate, Cardinals taking on the Rockies. We've got St. Louis minus 170, road favorites 11.5, the total in this game. I mentioned earlier in the show, or when we started, that it's been a very, very good first 3 days coming out of the All-Star break for me betting-wise, and one of the reasons for it was Friday.
Good for you. I'm getting killed.
Well, here's what I'm going to do right now. There we go. See this? I'm throwing my pixie dust your way. Hopefully it helps. There we go. Some positive vibes.
It'll be fine. It'll
be fine.
I had a crazy first half. So I thought of you a little bit. There's been some nice overs as well. I didn't know if you've been on me the last couple of days.
That's why I've been winning. Lots of high scoring games.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Good news for me. Yeah, exactly. That's usually a good thing for me. No doubt. One of the winners I gave you on Friday against Minnesota was that big plus money price on Colorado. I'm like, what are we doing laying minus 170 with Minnesota on the road? I feel the exact same way about this game. What are we doing laying minus 170 on the road with St. Louis right now? They are stumbling. I think they're going to be in sell mode, because this is a pivotal moment for the Cardinals. They had to come out of the All-Star break playing good baseball to give the fans some hope and give the organization some belief that they can maybe add and be in contention for wild card in the NL Central, and they couldn't have started worse. And they got swept in Arizona. The pitching got destroyed. Palante, even Sonny Gray was awful. And then, of course, Michaelis stunk early in that game yesterday. So everyone pitched awful for St. Louis. They got swept in Arizona. They're now only 2 games above 500. I think they're closer to being sellers now at next week's deadline as opposed to buyers. And then you got Michael McGreevy on the mound. We'll see how he fares in this one. He's going to probably just pitch a little bit, and there's going to be another relief by committee after that for the Cardinals. Austin Gomber for the Rockies. Here's what I'll say about Austin Gomber. I get it. The Rockies are 0-5 in his last 5 starts. I get it. But if you actually look at a couple of these starts, especially here at Coors Field, 1 run, 5 innings against the Dodgers, pretty good. 2 runs, 5 innings here against Houston. 2 pretty good teams. So he's pitched okay at home at times, Austin Gomber, the lefty for the Rockies. So I'm on Colorado. It's just, for me, more than anything, more than happy to fade the Cardinals laying a price like this on the road. They're not in good form right now. What do you think here, C-Mac?
This is my close lane. I think I'm going to be moving on it too here, first 5. Gomber still doesn't have a win. This guy I talked about the last couple of years, very good. First 5, one of the best, at doing that. So we talk about the Rockies bullpen. But I think he's live here, 0-3, 5 ERA. I think there was an error. If I remember, it was 2-2. The Rockies ended up losing, but they're playing better baseball here. They're starting to hit. Tovar's been back.
Yep.
I like the lineup that they got. We're basically going against, McGreevy, a AAA type pitcher. The Cardinals, they have some all right numbers against Gomber. The few starts, 16, 54, 296. Burleson 2 for 3. When Contreras 2 for 5. He does have a couple homers, but I think they're live. I've been kind of looking at them ball game. I know it's tough. Some people think Cardinals are still better, but I thought they were playing a little bit over their heads, a tad bit. And Gray was due to get really, really hit, and I didn't think it'd be that bad, but he definitely did. So Rockies, maybe you could look at the Rockies team total in this one too. I was just kind of going through everything here. I don't want to give you the bullshit because I haven't bet it, but I was looking at their team total or them first 5 in this game. Team total. I think they can get some runs early off McGreevy.
All right, we got the maybe the hottest team going right now. They are actually the Milwaukee Brewers. It's them and the Blue Jays. Those are the 2 hottest teams going right now. We got Seattle -120, home favorite, 7 the total. George Kirby, Brandon Woodruff on the mound here in this one. The only analysis I've got for you is they've won all these games in a row, Milwaukee. What is it now? Just an incredible...
Is it 12?
12-game win streak. Yep.
Okay,
they've won 12 in a row, I believe it is. 12 in a row. They swept the Dodgers. Unbelievable they did that again, after sweeping them in Milwaukee. And they turn around and they sweep them over the weekend at Dodger Stadium at Chavez Ravine. That fucking stadium was 3/4 empty by the time that 8th, 9th inning rolled around yesterday. Felt like a funeral listening to fucking Oral Hershiser and Joe Davis on the broadcast. Holy shit.
It is right now.
Bloom. Yeah.
Bad bullpen.
Yeah.
With the Dodgers.
Yeah, pretty bad. Yeah, pretty bad. I'm on Milwaukee again. As I've been riding them. I've been on them for a lot. I was on them before the break in a bunch of games. I took them in every game at those big plus. That's why it was a great weekend, C-Mac. I just said I'm not overthinking it. I'm taking the plus money in every game against the Dodgers. I did that with Milwaukee, and
hey, those were some the wins for me. So if I did it, I was on the Brewers too.
Yep.
On the weekend. So that was, thank God for them. We've even seen a couple 6.5s.
Yep.
It gets a little bit dicey, but I think this is an under type game. With Woodruff, it's a little bit of a card, but 12 straight is just tough to jump. I could see, all the money, everyone's going to be on the Brewers. When you get a streak like this, that's another just how it goes. So Mariners at home after getting blown out yesterday, finally got a hit. I think it was 11-3 or 11-4. So I think it's a tight, low-scoring game. So It's just now with the 7. And I think it's Brewers or nothing as well. Should be a good game. I'm loving my season wins, because I don't do a ton of futures. So that's great. I think they only need to win 26 games, because they were already at the break, 16 or 17 over. So cash is. I'm a happy man. Tied with the Cubs too, right?
Yeah,
59 and 40.
Yep. No doubt.
Been good. Been good as a road dog.
Yep.
Their numbers crazy. Their numbers as a road dog this year were the Brewers.
Just incredible. I'll be honest. I did not love the hire of Pat Murphy when he replaced Counsell in Milwaukee, but
me too.
They've responded.
Baseball guy.
Yeah,
exactly. I just didn't know if it might translate too much, with him in the bigs. We've seen this before, and even with him. So, but he's done a hell of a job for what they have too. I think they could hit a little bump, maybe in the next few weeks. But this run's been very, very good. Kind of beat up on the Mariners too last year, and the year before. What have they won? 6 out of the last 7. Just to throw that out there. Yeah.
This could go one of two ways. You could say you could think that it's a letdown spot for the Brewers after sweeping the Dodgers again for a second straight time. You could also say it's a bit of a letdown spot for the Mariners. It was a huge series for them over the weekend against Houston, facing the Astros, trying to track them down in the AL West. So I don't know if it's just a bad spot for Milwaukee. You could say it's a bad spot for Seattle too.
It would have been big if they would have got the sweep yesterday. The Mariners. That would have been probably really.
It would have really been breathing down Houston's neck at that point. I think they would have been only 2 games back if they had won yesterday. Now instead they're 4 back in the AL West. Good game. I'm just riding the Brewers till they lose. No genius thinking or handicapping with that. All right, next up, Yep, you got it. Houston, Arizona. Speaking of the Astros, we got Colton Gordon for the Astros, Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks. Arizona -140, home favorites, 9 the total. I ended up taking Houston, but I've locked it in already. The more I thought about it after the fact, I don't love it as much. Arizona might be making one. Arizona's talented enough to go on a crazy run and get back in it. They are, and they've done it before. It was a great start sweeping St. Louis over the weekend, and I just get the feeling they could go on a bit of a heater, Arizona. So I'm not as bullish on this Houston bet. I still think plus 120 is not a bad price on the Astros. Gordon's kind of iffy. There is something I like more in this game, though, and that's over 8.5. It's up to 9. I think there is some. Gordon, I don't trust still. That's the one issue. He's got a 4.44 ERA. I think Arizona matches up pretty well. And the lineup's been hitting pretty well for Arizona coming out of the All-Star. Really well. You could say the same about Houston, though. Both of these teams have been swinging the bats coming out of the All-Star break. These two teams averaging 6 runs per game coming out of the All-Star break. The 3 games they played over the weekend total an average of 6 runs per game for each team. So if both teams come close to the average they've scored here in the series coming out of the break, the way Houston was pounding the ball against Seattle and the way Arizona was pounding the ball against St. Louis, then they could combine for double-digit runs here, in my opinion, in this game. So I like over the total, especially at 8.5, 9, whatever you can find. I think it's a high-scoring game here. CMAC, Astros, D-backs.
Yeah, you already hit on it. I mean, I'll get it now. This best bet. It took the over. I think we just get runs. I think it's a perfect one. The only thing is with Gallen, he's had a bunch of rest. Does that help him? And he got hit around that last start. Looking a little bit better, the couple starts before that, even watching him. And then he gave up 6 against the Angels. But he's been off for, 9 days, of course, because of the break, I believe. So maybe he's a little bit.
5.78 ERA still at home at Chase Field, which is not great for Gallen.
Still big. I think Gordon gets it. You look at the D-backs team total. The price is just a little bit. It was, money. We already mentioned the Cardinals struggles. And one thing with the Mariners, I thought Astros were a little bit live. And at this price, I think they are. Just because Gallen, uncertainty a little bit, and the bullpen with the D-backs. They've had those leads. Like, they still gave up 3 late. What was it, yesterday? They did in the first game, got it over there. They gave a couple homers, I think, in that first one, the 7-3. So I think it's just live. The full game. So, yep, I'm already on it. Over. Lean Stros.
All right, so I'm on it's small on Houston. I like the over a lot more than the Houston side. So, I definitely prefer the over in that game more than anything. All right, last game, the Minnesota Twins and the LA Dodgers. David Festa, Shohei Ohtani, the pitching matchup here. We've got the Dodgers minus 170 home favorites. The total here is at 9, shaded to the under here in this game. David Festa is erratic, to say the least. And I'm still Dodgers got to step up and prove it to me at this point when they're getting prices like this. They're 2-11 now in their last 13 games. The more the losses add up, the more people are getting upset. And Kershaw had a little bit of a outburst in the post game yesterday, and it's just a lot of bad vibes going on. Bad vibes, not a lot of harmony, not a lot of smiles, not a lot of good feelings right now with this Dodgers team. And it's everything. When you watch that series over the weekend against the Brewers, pitching wasn't good enough. The bats are ice cold right now, especially the Mookie Betts bats and some of these other guys. They just can't hit all of a sudden. Not for Ohtani's 2-run shot yesterday. They didn't get much from anybody else. And how about the defense? Some terrible fielding, my goodness, from the Dodgers too. I mean, their defense has kind of betrayed them and let them down in these 2 games. So it's at the point now with the Dodgers. Prove it. Prove it to me, and I'll stop fading your ass. That's where I'm at right now with the LA Dodgers. Prove you can win a game, and I'll stop fading your ass. So I'm on Minnesota here, plus 150. I got to admit, Festa does scare me. This is one lineup that if he's not on and he's not locating well, the Dodgers, when they're right, can certainly feast on a guy like David Festa, but they haven't been right swinging the bats for quite a while now, this Dodgers team. Meanwhile, you've got Ohtani. You're only going to see him for a bit. You're going to see a lot of a Dodger bullpen that flat out sucks right now. That's probably another big issue right now with the Dodgers. Stinks, the bullpen. Oh, look at the guys they're trotting out there. Lou Trevino, he was good like 5 years ago. Why do we even put him in there anymore in a bullpen? He was good 4 or 5 years ago. He's not good in 2025, yet the Dodgers are still running him out there like they did yesterday. Yeah, there's just a lot of problems right now for the Dodgers. And like I said, there's just a fade of them until they win. I'm okay doing it. Now, travel spot's not the greatest for the Twins. I understand that. Going from Colorado is not always a spot I love backing a team, but you're going to give me plus 150 to fade the Dodgers. I'll step up and fade them again until they show me that they can do something about it. Final game, C-Mac. What do you think here? Twins, Dodgers.
Yeah, this is one I might be on the over. It's the Twins. It's just at the Dodgers right now until they get healthier and the basket going. They're just I don't think they're a play. Like, I mean, why would you want your money on a team that's not being great? They get kind of that win before the break with Ohtani, and it's been right back, and it's been everything. Yeah. They've gotten some runs. The bullpen is bad. You know, we've talked about the injuries with the starting pitching and the pen. They're going to get some guys back, and a little bit I like it as a Dodger fan. Like these big years where they cruise and win 108 games or whatever. That one year they won 114. I forget what it was. A couple of years ago, it was a little bit like last year. I just want them playing better towards the end, of the year in the playoffs. So, but Mookie Betts, has got to get going. The defense has been really, really rough.
And Dustin May is going to be the primary after Ohtani. I should mention that tonight. And he got bombed in San Francisco the last time we saw him.
Bombed. I think he'll be better, though, at home, backing up. And Ohtani's starting to stretch him, though, a little bit more, Maybe go 3 innings here, 2-3 innings. But Festa, him on the road. Now, his last start was Chicago, right? The Cubs. He pitched all right. He's going 5 innings, just working on his stuff.
He shut out the
3
Tigers.
Ks, 2 walks.
What are you going to get? There's some good and some bad. A little bit of everything. Mixed bag.
Mixed bag. I think it's more of the bad after that good start. Miami gave up the 4. He gave up 8 at home, 2 in Cincy, 8 at the A's. I think it's a little more of that. But the Dodgers need it desperate to score some runs. But this is kind of a guy that they match up really, really good with. It's just the bat's ice cold. Edmund, after the unbelievable start, just crazy streak right now. He's been even Payas, and he's had a really great year after everyone's ripped him, but he's gone a little bit cold. Teoscar, we already mentioned Mookie. So, not great. Freddie Freeman is in the lineup, too. He got hit. But, it's Twins. I think it's an over, too. And this is kind of a game that I was looking at. They're not in the 9.5. I think you can go over here.
Yeah, I think the over could be in play.
This is one I've been looking at.
I'll end up betting that too because I do think there could be a spot where finally the Dodgers offense shows a little life. But I also think
it's got to be.
Yeah,
the media, you're getting hounded. Now it's always work out. This is baseball, the pressure, but Twins dropped those first 2. We're talking about the Rockies playing a little better. Of course, they get the win yesterday with the better pitcher with Ryan on the mound.
Joe Ryan's going to be somewhere else after the trade deadline. He's definitely going to get dealt.
Yeah, and a little bit, what do the D-backs do? Someone's talk. Suarez, he's been unbelievable. And, of course, he looks like he's going to get traded. But we will see. Marte is back in the lineup. Yeah, his is lower. And, of course, I love him a little bit even more. Great lefty, but I love him from the right side off a lefty. And he's in the leadoff spot today. So I like it. Whoever put that in there.
That's Robert. I agree with almost all of Robert's home run props tonight. It's hard not to. I think
the hard play.
Yeah, Jose Ramirez against Sugano. Absolutely. I think he could get a homer.
Yes, fly ball, homer pitcher.
Yeah. Ramirez is starting to hit the home run ball lately as well. Brooker, always a threat. Caminero, I like. Yep, Marte. You mentioned Eugenio Suarez. How do you not take him to hit a home run right now? He has 2 home runs yesterday for him against
again.
Yeah,
I think he had 2 in the first game, right?
That's right, he did. And he's trying to showcase himself for the trade deadline because he's on the trade block. Well, he might be. If Arizona keeps winning, they might keep him.
I know. I'm like, he's just been raking. What's he got, 33 or 34 now?
Yeah, he's
35.
35. Yeah.
35 bombs. So, I know. I wonder what D-backs do. Dodgers playing, down here. Everyone's live a little bit. D-backs still 500, but Giants, even though they haven't played great baseball, I think they're live today. a little bit, but they're 4 games over. The Padres, who haven't really played great baseball, so 9 games over. I think it should be fun down the stretch. So after the Dodgers lose, I think they'll get going. This has just been, hey, they go through these streaks. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Just shout out everyone before we wrap up the show with best bets.
Oh yeah, Nick
Padilla, Thomas Maggio, Nick Alvento, Joey Moses, Timmy Two Shoe, Robert Carlson, J Main 34, Oldie, the King's back, Justin McKelvey. Appreciate all you. GNL Photo, Fernando Mendoza. Appreciate everyone here in the chat. Coin. Who else did I not get to? I think that, there's way more up here. Yeah, appreciate all you guys joining us here, as always.
Shout out.
Adam Digest,
Adam.
good to see him.
Adam, what up?
At the bat. Gerald Jones, appreciate everyone. I think I saw Brian Alfering earlier. Yep, there he is. Timothy Hake. Appreciate all you guys joining us here on this edition of the Hitting the Books show. Any of the games that I spoke about, C-Mac, before you got here, anything you want to mention that you like?
No, we can get out of here. I just saw that one I'll hit on, the Giants. I think they're like Elder off one of his better starts at that price. Not that I'm loving the Giants.
Bounce back spot. You can't penalize them for losing to Toronto right now, the way Toronto's playing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jays just playing great baseball. And
Atlanta favored. Atlanta's favored against a better team, in my opinion. That's not right. Just like it wasn't right yesterday, and I took the Yankees yesterday.
Oh yeah, Yankees day before, wild game, down 8 whatever, and the slam by Grisham. Holy shit! But yeah, Nick Adonis, I like that as well. I think, and he's at unbelievable numbers in Atlanta too when he used to play for the Brewers.
Yeah. I agree.
So look for him. Definitely.
There you go. All right. Best bet time. Let's wrap it up for a Monday. C-Mac, what do you like for best bet?
Yeah, I already talked about it. Over. Astros D-backs. Over 9. Let's get it.
Great stuff. All right. Best bet for me. I like Cleveland Guardians minus 135. Let's go with that. Against Baltimore. Great spot. I think the Cleveland's playing well. Before the break, they were playing well. They swept Houston in Houston, took 2 or 3 from the Athletics. Baltimore, too, finished that game late yesterday. Delayed by rain. They finished that game in Tampa like at 5:30 Eastern, late in the afternoon. Then you got a flight to Cleveland. So a bit of a tough spot schedule-wise, travel-wise for Baltimore, too. Sugano has not been in good form. Bybee's pitched decently at home. Good spot. Cleveland playing well. Price is reasonable. So Cleveland minus 135 for best bet here for this Monday.
Real quick, Thomas. Yeah, I like the A's. I missed the number here. You know, I was on them yesterday. Got burned a little bit like this. I don't know about Lopez. I mean, the Rangers' offense still isn't very good, but I do the moves to them. Are you on the Athletics? Or no?
No, I didn't bet that. I think it's cheap now on Texas, actually, but I don't like.
Well, yeah, that's the only thing now. I mean, it's basically even money, but I love the move. I think they definitely are live, and a little bit of the wild card was Lopez today. So that moved yesterday. I thought, and the Guardians though just got to Springs there early. He just got rattled. So
yeah. No doubt. Good stuff. Shout out to everyone. We appreciate you guys. So we will be on regular shows. Wednesday's show, though, I do want to mention this. Wednesday's show is going to be college football ACC preview instead of MLB because MLB, there's only a few games.
Wait. Maybe. It might be Thursday. I'll let you know.
Oh, okay.
I might not be able to do Wednesday. So.
Oh, just at all. Even if it was baseball, you'd be
yes.
Good to know.
Right. Yeah, I have something. Well, I'll let you know in the morning.
Sounds
good. Tomorrow. I'll move it. I have an appointment there Wednesday. I'll see if I can bump it. And
cool.
We should be good.
We can move ACC to Thursday if you're not around Wednesday because I'd like to have you with me for all of them if possible. But
yeah. Cool.
All right, awesome. So we are here tomorrow. We'll see if C-Mac's available Wednesday. We'll do ACC on Wednesday. If he's not available Wednesday, we'll push it to Thursday. With that, good stuff.
Be good,
all right. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck, and we will be back with you tomorrow on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Books show. Until then, class dismissed.